What is going on, people? All right. First of all, let me say sorry for all the stuff in the background. We're going through some stuff, cleaning out some stuff, putting stuff away. It's a little messy. Also, if you hear my fan, it is hella hot here in California. You can probably see my fan over my shoulder. So forgive me for those two things. But today I wanted to bring you an extensive kind of overview or look of Inzoi. Since Paralyzed just came out, a lot of people start talking about Inzoi again. And a lot of people is actually comparing Inzoi, Paralyzed, and The Sims 4 together. Well, honestly, I haven't played this game in a year. So it's been in early access for a year and 3 months. It came out in early access, I think March 25th. My last day that I played this game was May the 16th of 2025. But since then, they've made a bunch of improvements, and I'm gonna show you the reasons why I think Inzoi, Paralyzed, and The Sims 4 are their own separate games. Now, what I'm gonna tell you guys is, let's talk about the free stuff before we get into the actual game. I'm gonna show you guys everything today. We're gonna walk through how to make your character. We're gonna see what how that's different. I already have a pre-made character that I've used from a year ago that I'm going to use, but I'll kind of show you guys how you can adjust that in the whole nine. The free stuff that is given. Paralyzed has stated that they're going to give you free content forever, no DLCs at all. Inzoi has said that the DLCs and any other content will be free as long as it is in early access. So I want to correct something that I said in my Paralyzed video, which is that Paralyzed was the most expensive early access game I have bought in. I stand corrected. Paralyzed and Inzoi both cost the same. So I paid $39.99 back when it came out last year. I actually got Paralyzed cheaper because I paid $34.99, I believe, on a sale. So if you want to get everything for free and get Inzoi when you see this at this low price, go get it now. They're only supposed to be in early access for 1 year, according to K June and what they had written a year ago, but they are still very much early access, and they're still saying that there's things that they need to work on. So you can get all the stuff right now for free and at that price, because once Inzoi comes out, it's going to be more expensive, I guarantee it. All right, so with that being said, that open mind, I also want you to keep in mind that this is shot or made from realism. So when they went and made Inzoi, they wanted it to be as realistic as possible, and you're going to see that in their gaming model. All right, so for starters, you see this right here. We're gonna get into a lot of different things. We have our mascot here, which is the cat, which is why we have Mew Bucks. Some people call them Meow Bucks, but that's the currency in here. Over to your right side, we do have mods. I have no mods in this game. This game is completely unmodded. But if I did, they would be here. You can add mods, but as you see, you cannot add mods directly from the Steam Workshop. You have to go through CurseForge, create a mod, which is the Inzoi mod kit for you to officially create a mod yourself. And then they have guide to using mods. I have never modded this game because I didn't feel like I needed to. And the mods that people are using are very minimal, right? Maybe, make your Zoi eat faster, things of that nature. But I've also heard that a lot of mods has broken Inzoi. But unlike other games that I've played in the life genre, I've never really felt I needed to mod this game because they've given me everything that's there. And that's gonna be more true now with the updates that they've made. All right, so we're gonna jump right into a new game, and it's gonna jump us right into the character studio. Now, if you're anything like I was when I first started this game was overwhelming when I first saw this, because this is gonna be very extensive. So you see they give us a female, nice realistic looking female that you could use. You can zoom in, zoom out on her, twist her around, things of that nature. But here's what you can do. I've tried to move myself camera wise Try to move myself camera-wise so I'm out of the way, so forgive me if I'm not 100%. But over in the right, as I just click Inzoi presets, you can choose any of these presets you want and just continue to edit from there. And that is basically what I did. So if I go to mail, let's see if I can find if my preset is still here all these years later. And sure enough, he's here. So when you click on a preset, it's going to tell you to apply it. It's going to erase the current preset that you see. You can set apply. And here is the preset that I've used over the year. He hasn't changed. Now his clothing may have, and then they did reset his name because I did say we want to play a new game. We're starting this fresh for you guys today, so you see everything. So here's what this looks like, and that's from the Inzoi preset at that point. All right, so I don't really have to do a whole bunch to him at this point because this is what I like him to look like. All right, so now that you see him here, all of these other presets exactly the same, right? You can choose them. But we can go to style preset now. And what this does is this gives us his style, so his clothing. So right now, this is everyday wear. Then we have summer, you have winter, you have formal, you have party, sportswear, swimsuit, sleepwear, and school. Okay, now, I'm not gonna bore you guys and change all this stuff. We're gonna keep his clothes the same because I do like these outfits, with the exception of bruh's everyday wear has got to loosen up some. So let's go and take a look at some clothing for him. So you only got like a couple of outfits up in here each, as you can see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this another way. We'll go to outfit here, and this will open up all of this. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how to get around that. If you go to style preset, then you are stuck with whatever the presets are in here. If we go to outfit though, it opens up the whole category. So I can go to tops. So right now, let's lighten old boy up. Let's see, where's this jacket at? Because we kind of need to get rid of that jacket. Now here's another thing while he's staying here that I'll point out that I'm not sure if was here when I was playing a year ago, which is to be able to stack clothing. So you see he's wearing a suit jacket and I have the shirt up underneath him. And I don't believe you could do that before. Let's see, maybe he's up under outerwear, which would be strange. I think of outer, here it is. I think of outerwear, I think of a coat. So it's in outerwear. All right, so let's give him a relaxed fit here. We're gonna take that off. All right, so this best creator shirt, let's wear that. Best creator ever was a shirt that I received because they have Inzoi codes. I'll show you that later. If you put in from a creator you watch, they give you t-shirts. So let's go with that. Let's go with some bottoms here. It's probably gonna be spring or summer this time of year. No. Those are shorts. Let's go with those. I kind of like that. Some fashion accessories. Keep him in his white socks. And let's give him a little bit better pair of shoes. All right, I'm liking that right there. All right, so for now, for the sake of the video, we'll just keep him there at this point, right? So we've got him his fits. So we're ready to go for all occasions. All right. His traits that I had him in before, he was a charmer. And here we have, he's a workaholic, and his extroverted means that he enjoys chatting with others and feel uncomfortable if you stay at home too long. Your performance skill improves quickly. So you're able to pick two of those. I don't know why it keeps giving me the workaholic one because I don't believe I suggested that before. So if you look at the workaholic, Inzois with this characteristic tend to be diligent workers who feel anxious when they are out of work. Well, I guess that kind of is me. I do feel anxious when that happens. So we'll just leave that. Here's all the other traits you can have. Now, I won't go through all of these because there's a lot. Maybe I'll do a separate video, but we'll just talk all about individual traits. But just keep in mind that your traits and your characteristic, they all match up together. And so you should make sure you pick a trait that is suitable for you. So just my particular trait He has the charmer, says he shine brightest when expressing his heartfelt affection. You nurture your relationships with kindness and devotion, and you love deeply and express emotions to the fullest. His two characteristics is a workaholic, with Zoids with characteristics tend to be diligent workers who feel anxious when they are out of work, and extroverted. You enjoy chatting with others and feel uncomfortable if you stay at home too long. Your performance will improve. Your performance skills improves quickly. Now there's other ones that are here now that would also suit me, but all of these were not here when we started a year ago. So not to bore you, what I will do, if you guys would like, is I will do a separate video where we will do nothing but talk all about the traits. I will read all the traits off to you, as well as all of the things that go with it and what goes into that, because your trait system definitely is what builds your Zoi. Okay, we'll click done here. Ambitions, partners in love. So pursuit of love is what I have for ambitions. I have the partners in love achievement reward. You can give relationship advice and conversations. And then I have to have one mutual crush, hold hands and talk 3 times. The other ones over here, again, if I go back and do a traits video, we'll also cover ambitions because it's all part of the trait system. If you want financial success, career success, physical training, family happiness, harmony and peace, knowledge and learning, creative expression, pursuit of love, community contribution, and social disorder, life hacker, collecting and crafting, and business properties. All of these plays into your ambitions of what you want to do and what you want to get. And then desired lifestyle, mine is life of adventure, which says that seeks to take on new tasks and goals fearlessly, overcoming their limits, and the process aims to grow by continuously testing themselves, never giving up even in difficult situations, aspires to tap into their potential, using the experience gained from these challenges, exploring the diverse possibilities life has to offer. Now the traits, it'll tell you the traits that they think your life choice adds up with, which is the adventurer and the innovator, and the values aligns with challenge and pleasure, and ambitions with fitness master. And then it tells you the skills it aligns with is critical thinking, fitness, media production, cooking and coffee art, and preferences, boxing, street food, animals, dancing, and talk and taking photos. Now they've added a bunch of these. I think they've added a couple of these since I was here a year ago. Life of freedom, I have ran before, which is seeks to live without external constraints or restrictions, but we'll keep it here at life of adventure because it fits probably some things that we're going to do, because after this one, we are going to do a let's play, and I'll tell you all about that towards the end. All right, so then we're going to give him a name. So he would be named David Ray. All right, and he is going to be a young adult. Now you can be a child, a teenager, a young adult, an adult, a middle age, or a senior. We're going to be a young adult, and then I'm going to show you how all that progresses and some things you can turn them in settings as we go along. So I think we have him ready to go. He is complete. His name's David Ray. He's a young adult. He's a male. He's a charmer, partners in love, and life of adventure. All right. So let's complete him. There's some things we're going to talk about too, but we'll talk about a little bit later, because you see this big C up here. That's for canvas. I'm going to show you how that works too as well. But let's complete him for now. Do we want to save and complete the Zoi, the current Zoi? We're going to say complete. Now this is create a family. Now here you have the option of either entering Inzoi solo dolo, or you can create yourself a family off the bat. You can have up to 8 people in your family. And if you do that, you can just go, you click here and you can add a new family member. So let's just say I want her to be my new family member. We'll just call her Glenda Ray. We're just doing this for the sake of demonstration. And then we'll just give her 2 things here. We hit done on her. We just want to get to where it allows us to continue. So right here, we can complete her. We're complete. Now she shows up. Now from here, We can say what her relationship is. So she can be a roommate or a wife. So we selected wife here for her. And of course, we put husband. Now, if we wanted that, see, it draws that tree. Then I could go back in and I could create a kid and then say it's both their kid. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go in solo dolo. And my recommendation is, if you are new to Inzoi particularly if you are new to life simulations, go in solo. Make your friends in the game. Then maybe later if you want to create somebody. But I believe the reason why a lot of people get overwhelmed in these kind of games is they go in with a husband, a wife, a kid. They got 4 people living in the house, and you have to control or manage all of those people. So go in solo is my suggestion. We're gonna create family. Our family name is Ray. We're gonna complete the creation. And it says world creation permit. In accordance with AR company regulations, the creation of a new simulation world called Inzoi is hereby authorized. Additionally, it is hereby confirmed that the Zoi family listed below has started a new life in Inzoi. Ray. Family members, me, 1. Created 6/4/2026. So we're gonna submit. Now, we get to pick where we want to live. All right, so there's Bliss Bay, which is Los Angeles inspired. There's Dowon. Now, Dowon is nestled in a parallel universe in Korea. And then there's the new one. Now, when I started this a year ago, we only had Dowon and Bliss Bay. Now we have Kahaya. Now, Kahaya is DLC. It is proof that their DLC comes free. This is a Tropolis island in the Southeast Asian destination. You have all kinds of hotels and stuff over here. Now, the cool thing is, no matter where we pick to live, we get to go to Dowon or Kahaya. We can use these as vacation spots. So these are the 3 territories right now that you have to go to. We're gonna go ahead and go to Bliss Bay. I think Bliss Bay is a perfect place to show you guys around, has some of the most stuff to do. Plus, I don't like living in places where there's gonna be floods and tornadoes. Done that in my life, because here in Inzoi, yeah, the weather is real and it does have real effects. We'll talk about a little bit more about that as we go along. So we're gonna select to live in Bliss Bay. And they do have a criminal system. See this guy pickpocketing here? They now have a criminal system that's fully flushed out now. You can go to jail. All kinds of stuff happens over here in Inzoi, just like in real life. Like I was saying about natural disasters. If you have natural disasters, you can die from a natural disaster. All right. So here is the map of where we are, which is Bliss Bay. If you take a look, it wants us to pick some place for us to live. Now, we can live in any of the spaces that's jumping right here. So, and they got this red in the middle. So I'm trying to maneuver around where you can see up here in the top. So what we're gonna do is actually, this is 203 Somerset. It is actually a property of $26,000. Here is another one for $157,000. Here's a beachfront, $20,000. It looks like this is actually an empty lot, which is what we're gonna be looking for. So let me keep that in mind. So I'm gonna show you guys a trick. All right, Luminaire, that's an actual property. That's an actual home. That's a home as well. Here's another empty property. $5,000, so we can move there. Unoccupied home. So it's either between being on the beach at $20,000 is an empty property, or we can go back up here and we can get this one, $5,000 over here. 40 by 20, $5,000 for the lot. Oh, looks like a pretty decent sized lot. All right, We're gonna go ahead and buy this at 5,000. And here we are. Okay, so when you first are playing the game, it's gonna bring this up. This is sidecast advice. It's gonna run you through all the stuff of how you control your Zoi and things of that nature. The one thing I want to point you to is enable cheats. We are going to enable those because what these allow you to do is play the game the way you want to play it. Especially in the Let's Play we're going to do, have to be able to add some money and things of that nature. Now, I don't use all the cheats. I probably would just use like the add money cheat, but there's a whole slew of different cheat commands that you can use in game. When the game came out in early access over a year ago, they used to have a button right here where you can just push and it would give you so many meow bucks a day for free. I guess like 1,000 or whatever, so you put yourself in the pinch. But we're gonna cover a lot of this here, but just know this guide is here and I'll show you in game how you get back to it. All right, so here we are. It says, I'm here to help Meow. Welcome to Inzoi Meow. If you have any questions or difficult, just ask me anytime. So let's pause here. It's 7:06 in the morning and let's take a look around. So here is our lot. Now he looks distressed. I don't know about because he's bought an empty lot, he has no house. We're gonna fix that in a minute, buddy. Don't worry about it. But right here is your empty lot where we're gonna put our house. Now I am not a builder, so I'm gonna show you what you can do if you just want to get a custom house and you don't want to build or can't build it. Before we do that, I want to show you though that there is a couple of ways to control your Zoi, which is going to be different than any game that you played. So the mouse only controls this camera. So I zoom in and out with the wheel. If I hold the left mouse button down, I can move to the left and to the right. If I hold both of them down, I can move up and down. And if I hold the right one down, I can spin. WASD moves your Zoi. Okay, so you have a couple of ways. Either you can move your Zoi this way, or you can point and click for him or her to move wherever. Okay, let's talk about a couple things you're seeing on the screen right now, just so you can understand how the Zoi works. I'll go ahead and pause to save time. Smart Zoi. Smart Zoi is an AI feature I've played with since it came out when they released it over a year ago. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. What Smart Zoi does is it allows your Zoi to be a little bit smarter. He or she will have all of their inner thoughts. They'll be smarter. They'll do more things on their own. They'll think through situations on their own. You also have autonomy. You can turn autonomy on and autonomy off. You have 3 different things in which you can control in that. The city. So we have his autonomy on, block conversations, interruptions. If you look at what this says, other Zoids will not interrupt conversations. You can turn that on or off and use situation-based looks, which is you will use situational looks such as swimsuits and sleepwear. You can get these looks and customize appearances. So this means that he or she will just change into whatever clothes fits the situation. If you go to a beach, automatically change into beachwear, okay? For family, we don't have one yet, but still the autonomy is here, same thing. And then personal, same thing. So it's mimicking whatever the city is that you can do here. We can click these, it's on. We can block conversations, or we can use situation-based looks. So you can select all of these for each one of those, okay? So if you don't want your Zoi to be that smart, if you don't want your Zoi to do things on his or her own, and you always want to command that, then you need to turn autonomy off, as well as don't use Smart Zoi. But I like when my Zoi does things on his own. So if he's sleeping, it's the middle of the night, he has to go to the bathroom. If you have that turned off, then it's gonna wait for you to wake him up. Now he's gonna wake up grumpy, and I don't know what happens if he has to go to the bathroom, hits the red. Autonomy on, he will automatically get up and take himself to said bathroom. As you can see now, I'm not doing that. He's walking on his own. Don't know where he's going, but people's complain that the Zoi does what they don't want him to do. I can control that. If I just hit a D, he's done. He cancels that action and he goes back to where I want him to go. So you always have complete control of your Zoi. All right, let's pause here. Let me show you how we're gonna get this new house. First of all, because this is important, I need to write down the address that we are currently at, which is gonna come up here in a second. All right, so we are at 3140 Greenway Street. This comes in handy what I'm about to show you. So we're gonna click on this C up here, which is Canvas, and it's going to open this up for us. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to search, let's see if I can just do it this way, 3140 Greenway Street, and see these houses pop up. These are suited for 3140 Greenway Street. I shouldn't have to go in and I shouldn't have to tweak anything at all. All right, so I think we found our house. We're gonna go with our first one, the simple, cozy family house. Seems to be a lot of house. We'll go ahead and follow this creator. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna schedule the download. And it says to be downloaded when we open the game. So that means as soon as I minimize this here, it has been successfully downloaded, and it is right here. Okay, so I did download this one too. Didn't know if I liked that one as well. So we're gonna go ahead and try this one here. And it tells you gonna change a whole lot. And here is the new house. Now we are in build mode, so we can look around and see what it looks like. Starting to get a little bit of a lag here, but that happens when you drop things in. All right, it looks pretty good to me. So what we're gonna do is we'll exit build mode now. All right, and we'll go and take a look around. So let's hit play first. And here he is. So we just walk him right through the house. So right now we have our walls. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'll tell you to move. We'll zoom out some here. Move over a little bit. And here's your walls. And then here they are when they're down, which is how majority of people end up playing the game. All right, so let's make sure everything works, because sometimes in these, the Zoi cannot even go upstairs. We tap, it gives us over the shoulder view. So we're looking directly over his shoulder as he walks. You can still zoom out a little bit. I don't know my new house, but I'm apparently walking into stuff. So we go to the regular view so I can see the camera. I think he walked through. Yeah, there has to be a wall there. All right, so let's get him up here. Oh, you can't walk. Oh, so you can't walk in between there. All right. So bring this up. So this happens. So now we have a new neighbor. So it seems like you're new around here. Just came over to say hi. Hope you get along as neighbors. So I'm gonna say hello to her, and then it says I just heard you moved in. So she brought a gift. So we're gonna say okay. Now here's the cool thing with Inzoi. Over to the left, there's actions. I'm just gonna let the actions play out. Okay, so first thing he's gonna do is go and greet her. All right, so they're greeting, they're receiving gift from neighbor. This is Rebecca Williams. And I don't know why she keeps walking into my house though. And actually Run upstairs. What's going on? What in the Sam how? She's currently busy. So let's go see what Rebecca's doing upstairs in the house. Apparently this house works because she got upstairs. So here we go. Upstairs. So she just gonna come over and read a book. All up in my bedroom, you know, bruh. Let's see, can we kick out a house? Let's go ahead and we're gonna express some gratitude. She's currently busy. That's funny. Okay, that does happen in Inzoi a lot. So also wants me to go and look at what my locks are set to, because you can change who has access to your home. All right, so let's spin around here. So family, only people you know, or only you. We're gonna go only people we know, which I didn't know her when she first walked up in my gate. And that should be the same for the door. And it is. Okay, so we'll let him do what his thing is he's gonna do. He'll go interact with Rebecca. I'll keep going on with the house. We can just scan over real quick. So you saw the inside there. You see more of this house as we go along, because this is gonna be our house now. We do have a big swimming pool in the back, and we have a little greenhouse, which is just perfect. All right, so let's continue on with some other stuff that you'll be looking forward to in Inzoi, and we'll continue this walkthrough. Now they should talk, he should express their gratitude, but this woman here, we ain't even friends like that yet, but maybe she want to be. All right, so now that's complete, maybe she'll leave. All right, so the other things is looking around. We have content. This shows you what mood that he is in. Of course, I showed you autonomy. And of course, I've already showed you the event ended. So, and of course, we probably showed you his needs. Now, these needs are tucked away in here. You can open them at any time that you wish. I'm going to go ahead and pause before I explain this, because I don't know if his calendar is full or not, but I don't want any more interruptions or introduce you guys to this stuff. Now, the cool thing is you don't have to keep this stuff here. This stuff is all movable. I can move this stuff over here. I can move this over here. So you can move this wherever you want to. I probably will move it, but I'll find out places later on where I would like to move it to. But all this stuff you can move. All right. On your screen, as you've already seen me use down here, it has your day. It has the temperature, what season you're in, and you can pause, play, or fast forward up to 3 or 5 times. And then this is a load button. If you do something in the game and you want to go back, you can push this button and to go back to the previous save. All right. One of the new features that we have now is the mini map up here. They're going to later turn this into a GPS, so it shows you exactly where to go if you're driving your car. So this mini map was not here before, but this shows you exactly where your Zori is and all that good stuff. And then if you're driving or walking somewhere, it'll show you where you are. Over here to the right hand side is your face, David Ray. You know, above you is your house. This is your house information. So it lets you know what your address is, that you can wear shoes in the house. That's important because if you do go to Kahea or Dowan, being that they are Asian communities, you must remove your shoes when you walk into their houses. And then it also tells you what notifications were. So we had a visitor notification, which was the newly Rebecca. Below that, you have family collection logs. So when you get a family or even yourself, when you go on vacations or you find things, you can add these things to the log as individual family members. And then there's your feed, which we don't have anything in there right now. This is where your notifications will go, all your players' family, your conversations. As we get some, they'll go here. And then here's memories. We've created none yet, but all of your memories and milestones will go here, and your recent memories will come here. We don't have any yet, but we will be getting them soon. Down below, you hit the question mark. It'll bring back up SciCat's advice guide for you. Also, if you head over here, edit the city, it will zoom you out. And once again, you can see the city and everything that is in it, including where you live. Okay, so here's your Heaven Hill Apartments. It tells you some families in there. All of these has families in it. Okay, and then here's where we live back over here. Now, the one reason I wanted to come here too is your edit schedule. If you go here, the edit schedule has things that is planned for you to do every day. And when we get into settings in a bit, I will show you why this is important, depending on how many hours a day that you have your Inzoi playing, and then equate it down to how many minutes it is in real time. Now today, I'm gonna turn this off because I don't want him to go anywhere while we're doing this tutorial. But with it on, you can see it has a schedule Monday through Friday. You know, so 3 o'clock today, the only thing he has for that was today, Sunday, Monday going to Clover Park, Tuesday Clover Park. Right now he has no job, so that will fill in as well once he gets one. This is also the game's way of helping you meet new people as well. But for right now today, we'll turn those off. You also have the family calendar. Once you get a family, here's what your family calendar look like. Now let's talk about the karma report. This is important to this game because karma can come back to bite you. Right now, the city's karma is normal. It says the soul dashboard, details on the karma and souls of the city Zois is normal. If things get out of hand, it's gonna go caution, warning, or good. Okay, if it goes caution or warning, this is gonna switch to poor, bad, or terrible. That's gonna be bad. Souls, view the souls currently present in the city. So this is all the people that's currently present in the city and what their karma is like. Okay, so right now everybody's karma is good. But if Rowan Barker decides he wants to go off and beat somebody in the head, that's gonna drop down pretty quick to low. So you wanna make sure that you're managing that. There's manage the city. This game gives you full control over everything and how everything turns out. I leave everything where it's at because everything's set to medium, except for street crowd density. I'm gonna turn that down. Property visitor density. Okay, I could be high. I like people. How many people visit my properties and businesses? We keep that high. And maximum vehicles, let's turn that down to medium. So see how I control all of that, even down to friendships. If I want no friendships, let's turn that down to lowest, and I probably won't get any. Let's turn that up to moderately high. Make sure it is affects the pace of progress and friendships. So we turn up moderately high. You control all of that. Your city report, you can see a graph of population. Recently 0 at this point. We just got here, right? Hello, goodbyes, number of Zoi friendships, mutual crushes, accidents, animals. You can see all of that right in this grid once we get going. Even tracks your dreams. So that's managing your Zois. City appearance is back here. Again, it tells you what level you're on. It's sunny or cloudy or rainy. You know, you can change this if you want to do that to whatever you want it to be, even to snow. All right, so you do not have to have it be exactly where it is at that day. You can totally control everything in this game. All right, so now I showed you that. Let's go take a look at the Zoi card, which is very important. Your Zoi card gives you all the information about your Zoi that you need at a glance. So right now it's telling me my name, the family name, the age group, unemployed, and high school graduate. And if I had a family tree, which I don't because it's just me, okay? However, you only stay a certain age for so long. So as you can see, I'm a young adult and I'm going to adult. If you hover over this, it'll tell me how many days I have left in this age group. So I'm only gonna be a young adult for 30 more Inzoi days. Okay, then I will become an adult. I will show you we can turn that off if you want, but that is the natural progression of the game. So 30 days, I will be an adult. Your memories will be tracked here. Your ambitions are tracked here. Your preferences. If you have no preferences, you can edit those. And this is where you can throw your preferences. Now, as it says, I have no preferences, and it will represent a Zoe's likes and dislikes. I can have up to 10 of them. So let's take a look and see what all we have up in here. Singing, dancing. Let's do some gaming. I can't in real life, so let's have my man be able to paint. I do love to read. We'll put some novels in there. We'll put drums for my instrument. Activities. We'll do cooking. Let's see, let's do a little fitness. So we'll do strength training and swimming. For food, let's do coffee. And vegetables. And I don't know why this would be an activity, which all over this, but let's go down and do bathing. That's 10 of those right there. Okay. And so not that none of these others won't come up, but it shows that those particular 10 is the 10 that I like the most and won't be disliked. Because there will be some they would dislike. Okay, your values. It says Zoe's with the challenge values seek new experiences and adventures driven by a strong desire to break free from everyday routines. So right now, I guess I'm a challenger. So that's where I'm at for my core value, is to challenge my career. I don't have one as of yet. We will change that slightly. It says that my final GPA was below average. Wow, I don't know how that happened. Freelancer 0, that's if you want to do things like drive for food delivery, things like that. You get on to that. All right, so that pretty much covers that. Here is Meow Store. And these are things that if you have a Meow bucks, I guess they call these, or coins or whatever, you can buy these things. And yes, there's a cheat for that if you don't want to wait to earn them. So that is your Zoe card. I think that's about everything you need to know here. Let's go into options and preferences, and I want to show you guys what I'm running here. Also want to take the time to let you guys know the PC that I'm running in case anybody is curious, because this game is a beast and it is so much of one that I'm trying to look for my specs here because I had to write them all down. I can't remember everything in here. But it is so that even some of the best machines, as you've seen, can lag depending on what you're doing. All right, so bundle performances is a bundle custom for me. Now, I've changed none of this. This is what the system itself, or the game itself, by announcing my machine, saying I can run. It says medium city population density, high business customer density, normal road, lowest animal, high simulation, camera plus controlled Zoe. Okay. So it says all this general. So basically this is the general stuff, camera, how I activate with those. Now I can go to ultra and see what that does. And that puts everything to highest. Right now I was at custom, and it sent everything to highest from there. Right. Now, can I run everything at highest? Yeah, let me give you the specs of my PC. I am running an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X30 up to 5 gigs. I have 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, and I'm running an AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT with 16 gigabytes. That would run the heck out of any of that. But let's see what the game suggests. Usually I run these things by what the game suggests. So if we go here to auto select, it auto selects and says that it thinks I should run everything on high. So you see it changed all of these for me to high, camera, high. So we're gonna go ahead and say, okay, we'll run it there. If I do graphics, auto select on graphics, it puts me automatically at ultra. Okay, so my graphics card is running everything from the Zoe distance render to background detail to show visibility on ultra. It's turned on shadow visibility, as well as turned on cast shadows, street for lighting and for street lamps. It turned realistic shadows off. So it enables real-time shadow rendering for more realistic lighting effects, produces realistic shadows, but may impact performance. So we'll leave that off because it's running everything else on Ultra. And my global illumination method is Lumen. Okay, so you guys see that for yourself there. We're gonna go ahead and lock that in and apply. All right, so that's what the game is suggesting I run it at. And as you can see, it is with everything set the way it wants it to be set. It is running things pretty smooth at this point. I'm not feeling any lag, moving up and down. They're still sitting here chatting, but I have them on pause. And if you look at just the detail of that, look how that water looks. All right, so go back into settings. If you don't have a PC that's this much of a beast, I just really got this one because I had to upgrade because I gave my son my other one, which ran this game perfectly fine as well. It ran everything on high here in my graphics card, also ran everything on ultra at that point too. So we looked at performance, we looked at graphics. So this has it in a windowed full screen. We're gonna change that to full screen, and then we're gonna change my resolution to 3440 by 1440. And we hopefully doesn't do anything in the recording, because last time I did this, it freaked out on the recording. I am running an ultra wide 45-inch monitor with 800-degree curve. So windowed full screen, you don't really want that. You want to be full screen. Window full screen, sometimes people running multiple monitors or they have a different setup, but you always want to run at full screen if you can. AMD FSR, his quality. I'm an NVIDIA man, so I'm just getting used to all this AMD FSR stuff. I think I had another video explaining how come I ended up getting AMD graphics card at this point, but we'll leave that on quality at this point. And everything else, I'll leave the same as pretty much set that way. We'll go ahead and apply that just so we don't leave the setting. And then we'll see how all this works out after we're done. All right, if we go to simulation, so the day length is 48 minutes. What that means is that your Zoi's day is 48 minutes real time long. If you look here, it says a day in Inzoi equals 48 minutes in real time. Adjusting this setting may cause unexpected balance issues. So 48 minutes in real time is what your day is set by default. You can go to 96 minutes, 4 hours, or 24 hours. Now we're gonna start out at 48 minutes. Some people go to 96 because they don't feel like there's enough time in the day. But keep in mind, if you up that from 48 minutes all the way down to 93 or even 24 hours, or whatever the case is, then you give your Zoi more things to do in that day, which they can tire out quickly and things of that nature. So we're gonna stick with the regular one and see how we get along. Then if we need more time, because sometimes people say they need more time for their Zoi to go on dates, things of that nature. If that becomes a hindrance when we're running out of time, then we'll go to 93. But we're gonna start with 48, and I recommend if you're gonna play this game, everybody else starts with 48. You can aging player families, you can enable that, or you can disable aging. We're gonna leave it on for now. Aging non-player families, so you can choose to have your Inzoi people that ain't not in your family stay young forever, or they can age. Dynamic physique and dynamic muscles. This means that you gain weight and gain muscle, or you don't. So you can lose weight, gain weight, or if you turn it off, you don't. So we leave that on for realism there. If you're working out, you kind of want to see your arms get a little bigger. So those two things. Control maximum idle family capacity. So this tells you adjust the maximum number of idle families that can be added to a city. Idle families are families that have not yet moved into any property, and adding more idle families may cause memory issues and increase loading times. We're gonna drop that down to 100. If they're sitting here idle, we don't need 200 in there. That's gonna help our game a little bit. To auto-generate player family schedules, we leave that on. I like that idea because if I forget to do something in the family schedule, it's going to automatically generate stuff based on what the Zoi's like. So it says allows or prevents player family schedules from being automatically generated, does not affect certain schedule items such as those related to school, workplaces, events, or fires. So it's going to automatically set up your work and your school calendars and events, things like that. But things outside of that, like going to the gym and things like that, we'll let that handle that. And then you can always add or take away like I did earlier. And I'll show you how to add because I forgot to do that when we're done with this. Play as ghosts after death. It is exactly what it sounds like. You die in Inzoi, but you have the option to select whether to enable the feature that makes a Zoe become a ghost after death. And when set to off, a Zoe will not become a ghost after death. So that means you can keep playing the game. You just will be a ghost. And that opens up a whole new player experience for you. I leave it on because it gives you the option to say yes or no. Temperature and weather response, I'm going to say all. What that does is set how strongly Zoids react to temperature and weather based on their outfits. Off, Zoids are not affected by temperature or weather. Normal affects emotions and stats, but Zoids will not die from temperature or weather. And full, Zoids may die if they wear an outfit unsuitable for the temperature. So right now we have it all, average, off. So we're going to put it on all. Means we can die. We go out in sub-zero weather with a bikini on. All right. Now you have your aging speeds. That's what you control everything in here. Affects how long Zoe stay in each age group. All age groups. One-time speed, 99 days. Okay. And this tells you you can change the age progression speed for all age groups at once. Select use individual settings to set a different speed for each age group. So all groups, one-time speed, you can change this, use individual settings. So you can change this as many days as you want to. If we go use individual settings, newborn, 4-time speed. So that means the newborn goes from a newborn to a toddler in a day, from the way that sounds. 4-time speed, 1 day. We can change that, 12 days, 6 days, 3 days, 2 days. So I'm going to say that a newborn should be a newborn for at least 6 days. A toddler, we'll go ahead and let him be a toddler for 6 days. A child, I'm going to say that should be at least 10 days. An adolescent, we'll give it 10 days. A teenager, we're going to make the teenager last a little bit longer. So you need to stay a teenager for a while, bro. So let's say 30 days. A young adult, they got young adult 8 days. Can't even let him live his life. So let's put a young adult at 60 days. An adult, 3 days. We're going to say, okay, adults should be 40 days. Middle age, we'll leave 40 days. And a senior, 4-time speed at 3 days. Let's give the senior at least 20 days on that. And if I did that right, that should all work out. But there you go. That's how you set if your aging progression in the game. And then adult pregnancy duration multiplier 1 time. Adjust how long each stage of pregnancy lasts. Not really experienced this yet, so I'm going to just leave it at the default at 1 time, and we'll see what happens whenever I have a child in game. We want to apply all of these so that if anything happens, we don't lose those. We go back in there. So that was simulation, gameplay. Here, your language is English. You can reset autonomy settings and switching families. Smart Zoe experimental, you can enable it, which I have, or disable it. You can apply range in city, all Zoes in city. You can change that to my Zoe's family, all Zoes. Small group of Zoes on screen, apply range on, queue limit 8. We'll leave that there. Driving experimental, enable manual driving. I do have that on for now, but you can turn that off. Enable autosave, yes. Autosave interval, we have 15 minutes. I think that's good. Guide, show control guide. So all the stuff here that we've seen, recommend canvas creation pop-up, you can turn those off. Pop-up auto close time, 30 seconds. So that means it'll pop up, it'll auto close in 30 seconds. Character name format, follow language settings. And what that means is, see if it lets you change it here. Follow first name, last name, first name, follow language settings, follow city settings. So we're gonna follow language settings. What that is for Asian communities, most of them go from surname to first name. You can set that up in here that way. So we have temperature scale. You can change the degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. We're on Fahrenheit. Enable property markers on screen, which is use property markers to see which properties are in view during gameplay. Enable activity need notification pop-ups, and refresh property manually. Skip into intro by default. So we have that on because it gives this long intro. And the other one is teleport when traveling to a destination. When a player's Zoi travels for a scheduled activity, off. When a non-player Zoi travels for a scheduled activity, off. And more directly to destination pop-up. So these are all off at the moment. If it works the way I think it should, we can leave them off. If it doesn't, then I'm going to turn those on because there's a button that comes that says to send my Zoi there automatically, and I like that. But those are the main ones. You can look at audio control, key bindings, and mods. We looked at mods already on your own. I will go through one more, which is going to be experimental and what that does for you. And it just has the autonomy multitasking. You can turn that on or off. So if you don't want the autonomy, you can turn that off. All right, so now we've made all those adjustments. Make sure the game is running fluid, which it is. I don't like the way these trees shimmer, so I may turn some of that down because those bugs is real. Oh, I know why it's shimmering. It's probably because of the heat. Shouldn't be because it's only 66 degrees out here. So let's go ahead and turn this on. So we're almost done with this video now, just to show you what things look like. And here's our dude right here walking down the stairs, his inner thoughts. I think his buddy probably left. So let's see where he's going now. Could might be going where I want to go. So he went to lift some weights. Didn't even realize there was weights right there. All right, so maybe got to get the man a little bit of a weight room. All right, so let's see if I can make him walk. So just by hitting that A, made him automatically put down the weights. And he's turning now, and he's up under my control. So that's how easy. If you want your Zoi to be up under your control, but you have autonomy on. All right, so let's take a look back over here. We have a little green room, which should come in handy. It's like some things already growing here. I don't know what door. Is there a door there I'm not walking through? I'm walking into the clothes rack. Okay, we can't walk through there. So how do I get over to new houses, man? You know, you got to get used to how the new houses work. Right here. All right, so right in between the pool, here's our little greenhouse. A little bit of gardening right here, which it looks like that flattened soil by hand. So we would need to do all of that to pull that because you can garden in this game. It's kind of funny how I can walk over there, but I can't. I can walk over on my own. If I push go, it does, but I won't let me walk over when I'm controlling them. That's funny. And here's a little greenhouse right here. You know, gardening, water, share footage of plant, learn gardening, all of that. So that's gonna come in a great handy. Here's our pool. So I think if I was to click here and said go, let's see what he does. Turns into a swimsuit, gets up in the pool. All right, now I've seen a lot of other creators say the same thing. I wish you had a way where you could do like laps and things like that. It's like you cannot do those things. Now he's getting out of the pool on his own because he had enough of a dip, and that's it. But you see that does go up. All right, but I think that's going to do it for this one. I just want to show you guys the ins and out of Inzoi a little bit. We did everything from, you saw me build the character kinda, that because I already had a preset for him. Get a little drink here. We also laid a house that we got from Canvas. You've seen the first interaction with the lady coming over. and you see how he works autonomously. It's 11:37 in the morning. He's now taking himself to brush his teeth, and they have to tell him to do that. If we look at his knees right now, it does say that he is hungry. I think we're upstairs. So if we go downstairs and I can find where my kitchen is, which apparently is over here. He's already going there. So I was ready to go tell him to go to the fridge. He's already on his way. And then I need to get back familiar with these cameras. So he's going to look in there. He's going to cook himself something to eat. So a lot of these things, unless you have things you need to do, you can let them run things autonomously. If you don't like that, again, turn autonomous off, and then you will control everything he does. Now, here's your early access right here. He walked this all the way around to his bathroom. And somehow he's cooking this stuff on the bathroom counter, when there's a stove right here. And he's baking. He's baking some kind of a mix. But this is what happens in early access. I don't think it has anything to do with the house because the rest of the house works right. Now he mixed it in there, but he's going to walk it back over, and now he puts it in the oven when the kitchen counter is right here. Again, folks, it's in early access. There's still a lot of work to be done. That is clearly a bug. He's angry now and displeased because he's extremely hungry. I do better jobs of keeping up with their needs, but sometimes it gets hard when I'm actually recording. All right, so he's pleased with himself, means that he didn't burn nothing, and he's very pleased with his cake. So now he needs to sit down and eat it. I don't know where he is going. Okay, I guess he doesn't want to eat his cake. There you go, eat a piece. So he went in by himself. I counseled it, but he went in by himself and got this bibimbap. Okay, bro, eat. Just eat just eat that. Now, again, look at the glitch. Oh, no glitch. He walked over here. Okay, sit down. I thought he was going back to the bathroom again. So I'm going to have to tell him to eat again here. And he should go ahead and eat that. But he's going to get up, turn around. Early access people, you got to love it. But all right, this is David Ray. We are going to do a Let's Play. I have the whole storyline that's mapped out. This is kind of the beginning of that. So this is showing you how Inzoi works so that when we get into my little storyline, you'll know where he's going. As you already probably guessed, yes, he is a single man, but there is more to his story. So make sure to come back for episode 1 of my Let's Play. Hope you guys found this nice and intriguing. Kind of tells you the difference between Inzoi and the competitors that's out there that's doing the same thing. Hope you see what the differences are and why I say these games are individually on their own different. You're going to get different things out of this. We're going to run Inzoi here with my Let's Play, and I am going to be doing Paralive still on my other channel, Midnight Playthroughs, where there is no commentary. I think for that particular game, it fits very well over there as well. Plus, I don't want to bore you by running 2 life simulators at the same time on the channel, and there is other games we're going to play too as well. So make sure you join us back for another episode of Inzoi. Again, the first one will be episode 1 of our Let's Play with our man here, David Ray. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Hope everything's going well for you and your family. And even though things may not be right in the world right now, we can get through it as a people. Keep your head up. Peace, love, keep rocking out. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.